I'm gonna do a little nature education today. How many of you know what the coastals, how many of you live in San Diego and even know what the coastal sage scrub is? How many people even know what it is? That's it. You're looking at it right there. Well, there's just some that's mixed in with some kind of riparian. Riparian just means by like a creek or a river. So like those trees, that's not typical. That's those trees actually, or these look like eucalyptus maybe, so they're not even native. That is a scrub oak. That is, or some type of oak, some kind of quercus. That's an oak, so that's native. But anyway, this is our native. If you live in San Diego, I want you to know what coastal sage scrub is, because it is the original habitat. Basically, it's the original habitat that dominated this entire area, and now it's limited a little bit. I mean, basically anywhere there's open space and there's wild land in San Diego, you're looking at coastal sage scrub or some kind of morph of it. Like, so I think like botanists like to be really picky and like be like, well, this is like, you know, for example, I feel like they would do something like kind of, oh, that's a cottonwood. That's a native plant. I think that's a cottonwood, which is a native plant that you find, native tree you find in creeks and stuff like that around San Diego. And there's some trees here, some oaks. Okay, anyway, I can't stop looking at nature. Like, that's me, you guys. I just can't stop. Like, if I'm by it, I have to stare at it. I have to look at it. I can't. I'm like, don't distract me. Okay? Because, bro, like, I really need to know what's going on. That's how I've always been. And my boyfriend told me this too. Even when I was in an institution, and I was with my boyfriend, and I was in an institutional setting where there was barely any nature, but he was like, you're always looking at nature. I was like, really? There's like no nature here, but even the little nature that there was, I had my eyes on it. You guys, I've always got my eyes on the prize. Okay? That's just me. So like I can't stop. Like, if I'm near nature, if I'm in nature, I cannot be looking at anything else. Like, it takes my full attention. I've always been like that. Like, I've never been a person, like, you cannot walk around in nature with me and like be on your phone. Like, people who walk around in nature and like go on hikes with other people and like talk about stuff, I'm like, no. If I'm gonna be in nature, okay, I have to admit I've probably done that before, but my favorite thing to do when I go into nature is to just completely immerse myself and be alone and just completely immerse myself in it and find what I can find. I'm a hunter. Like, I am a little hunter-gatherer by nature. Like, I'm always on the lookout for those rare and uncommon species. And when I find them, I usually find them because I'm like a little, you know, I don't give up easily. I do not give up easily usually. If I have the time, you know, like, I will just spend hours and I will just frolic through the flora, and I will find those rare plants, and I will find those uncommon critters, and everyone's like, how did you? And I'm like, you just gotta spend enough time. It's called dedication, and it's called love, and I love nature. I always have. And you know, like, we're going through this area right now, and I can think back, you know, I haven't been thinking about nature in a long time, but we're going through this area right now, this like little canyon. It's not little, actually, it's a pretty big canyon. I don't know, actually. See, I don't know what it's called. I bet you I have friends that probably do. But I forget, oh, there's some bladderpod. I love bladderpod, you guys. It's I forget what the Latin name for bladderpod is, but anyway, bladderpod has these nice yellow flowers all year round. I don't want to steer anyone wrong. I know it starts with an I, like Isamaris or something like that. Whatever, it's not that important. But it's just to show off. No, it helps when you're like trying to talk about it with other people. Technically, scientific names for plants and animals are supposed to be oh god, I'm looking at foliage from these deciduous trees, like and I'm thinking about, and I'm seeing the moisture because it just rained, and I'm thinking about mushrooms because I also like mushrooms. Mushrooms fascinate me, and they're also delicious. But technically, scientific names, you guys, are supposed to be for like when you're talking to somebody, like probably like a biologist or somebody like from another country. That's like kind of, I think, the extent of their usefulness. So like if I was talking to a botanist in Japan and I wanted to talk about a plant, I would use its Latin name instead of its common name. So I think that's about the usefulness for scientific names. But they're also fun to use and like make you feel smart. So yeah, learn it. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, coastal sage scrub. You ought to know, coastal sage scrub is awesome. It's dominated by sage. Duh. It's just coastal sage scrub. So it's by the coast, and it's scrubland. So it's like bushes, and it's mostly consists of like, I love it because it has mostly like nice aromatic like herbally plants like sage, white sage, black sage, sagebrush, California sagebrush, Artemisia californica. Learn it. Okay, learn that one. Artemisia californica, California sagebrush. That's like one of the dominant plants in our sage scrub habitat, and that is such a lovely smelling plant. It is so magical. It smells good, especially like after a nice like dew, or like, you know, like coastal fog like comes in and there's like a nice dew, like the air just smells of sage, and it's just wonderful. We have such magical plant communities here, and so I want everybody to learn their coastal sage scrub. Google it, learn it. Love you.